Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Life in the Razor's Land and the second College of Business episode. Today, we have on Robert Riley. How you doing?
I'm doing terrific.
You doing good? What are we going to talk about here today?
A little bit about some personal growth and development, a little leadership principles here and there, and give you a little bit of background about myself, and have some fun.
Have a good time. So we have the first thing is introductions. Tell the viewers who you are, how you got into that seat, and the growth stuff that we'll be talking about.
Yeah, so I actually went to UNOH. I got 3 degrees from here, and back in 2010 is when I first got here. I was part of the first baseball team here, so that was a really cool experience. After I graduated, I got my undergrad, I went straight to the workforce, entry-level job, and I worked really hard to work myself up the ladder, and did so. Currently, I'm an assistant vice president for a consumer finance company, so I oversee a division in our company here in Northwest Ohio. And honestly, probably towards the end of 2024, I had done a lot of growth and development. A lot of it was, circumstance with life. Some things got thrown my way, and I had to adapt and overcome. And I learned a lot about myself. So, towards the end of 2024, on this journey or this path, I thought, there's a lot more I could do outside of my professional life, because I love what I do. But at the end of the year, I thought, maybe I should explore personal growth and development. At first, I didn't know what that would look like. Whether or not that would be with like other companies or employers, and maybe working with professionals when it comes to culture, development, leadership, communication, all that stuff. But then I remembered, back when I was 18 years old, so that's 17, almost 18 years ago, where was my head at? What didn't I know? There are so many things that, looking back at hindsight, because hindsight's 2020, that I wish somebody would have told me, or I wish I would have had a mentor or something to help me out. So in 2025, I started to, maybe reach out to some people that I networked with, connections and whatnot, trying to get involved more. And that kind of, landed me here. So I had spoken with the alumni department and got in contact with Dr. Evans and then Phil, and got an opportunity to talk to some of the student athletes a couple months ago. And then, here we are. So just trying to keep it going. Yeah.
And you mentioned learning to adapt and overcome things that are thrown your way completely unexpectedly. So jumping back to kids my age here at UNOH, how important is it to understand how to adapt and how to overcome when stuff comes your way instead of just, breaking down?
Sure. So, and it's hard to do in the moment, because oftentimes it's crisis or something that's unplanned, so you're more or less reacting
like a fight or flight kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard to compartmentalize what's going on, depending on what the circumstances are. But one of the things, and there's so many of these out there that you can find on the internet, but people that tolerate uncertainty the most, they inevitably win. I mean, it's just a fact. So when you're faced with something that is unexpected or unfavorable, it's just more or less you really don't react. One of the biggest things that I think has helped me is I don't react. You take information in, evaluate, your decisions or what's going on in the moment, and you kind of assess, the next best step. And oftentimes, if you are in that framework or that frame of mind, you can make clearer and better decisions and kind of know what to do from there.
Right. And it's not reacting emotionally in the moment, right? It's stepping back and understanding it.
Absolutely. And that'll obviously play out well in your professional life too.
For sure. And one thing that I was always taught is like when I was wee bitty kid in like elementary school, middle school, like if someone's getting on you, or if someone is doing something, then not giving them the reaction they want to see is a good way to get them kind of off your back.
Absolutely.
So I think like taking what's just happened, realizing, oh God, this is not good, but then thinking about it and processing it logically instead of just, oof.
Yeah, and then one more thing I would love to add to that is it's such a simple a phrase that I heard Tom Hanks say one time, is that this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
If everything is going wrong, life's miserable, my job sucks, this or that, it'll pass.
It'll pass.
If everything's going well, you got the promotion, life's great, it's going to pass too. So
yeah,
not getting hung up on the lows and the highs.
Yeah. I mean, that's good though. I mean, like understanding, like there will be a brighter side at some point in time. It'll be hard to see as of now, but it will be there eventually. And one of the things we have on here is what was UNOH like in the 2010s? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
2000s?
2010.
Is that when you graduated?
I graduated 2013. I arrived on campus 2010.
Okay.
I transferred in 2010. UNOH then was really a shell of what it is now.
Okay.
Back then we had the new baseball field, we had the classrooms that we have now. But if you look at what things are like today, the university has adapted and evolved in such an incredible way. I mean, you've got the indoor athletic complex, you've got the soccer teams, you've got the student commons, that huge building that was not there. You've got all these renovated dorms for the athletes and other students. It's crazy how much better or how they've adapted with the times. So
well, I think we've definitely emphasized on the sports. Definitely, like I think you said the baseball field was just fresh. And what did we have a soccer field?
The soccer field was there when I was a part of the university. I don't know when the first the inaugural season was, but that was brand new too. So the same with softball. That was brand new too.
Okay,
and that whole entire area over there, that entry.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool. And you say like doing a sport, doing a club, getting involved is something that we have here on the sheet. So
yeah,
how involved were you on campus?
Yeah, so I'm glad that's part of the topic. So being a part of the baseball team, you've got 70 plus people that you're with, so you have a real strong sense of community.
Yeah.
For other students who might not be athletes or not going to school for athletics, there and correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw 20 or more like clubs or groups that
I think I remember we did count, it was like 17. So close to that.
So the point being, even if you're not an athlete, there's ways to get involved, to have that sense of community. And I think why that's so important for your success as an individual is, it's not only academics, because you've got others that are in it with you, friendships, new people that you're meeting. It'll help you develop soft skills that are going to carry you into your professional life. And, just having that sense of purpose or fulfillment with other people is just, there's studies out there, there's research that proves how that affects longevity in life too. So, being in the baseball program, that's how I was involved, and that was like a 6-day-a-week job. So
yeah, I believe it. Was there motorsports at that time at school? There was.
Yeah. There was. I have to believe there was in agriculture, all that stuff on the other side. I don't know much about that, but yeah.
You're good. But I mean, what I do know is, because I'm here for motorsports marketing, so I don't work on the business side, but what I do know is there's like drift club, autocross, off-road, rally, over the wall. I could go on forever on how many different motorsports related things there are. So I feel like just half of that list, if you like something to do with cars, then even that alone is something for you to do.
Absolutely.
And I mean, just for the business kids, there's AMA, the American Marketing Association. So I feel like any business kid could be productive and feel involved through just that alone.
Yes. And, there's also where we are in Allen County, there's so much industry. There's a large variety too. So, I mean, getting involved with internships, that's something that's invaluable as well. And I know being on the board for the College of Business, like we want to have local employers work with our students and, get them involved and give them that real world experience before they're actually out there. So
I think it was one thing that was mentioned on, I believe, episode 4, or I might be wrong, but it was mentioned like, how is it possible to to like graduate college and then find an entry level job with required 3 years of experience.
I know that's the
How? I just don't understand that. But it was mentioned that like at UNOH, you can get that 2 to 3 years of experience by getting out there and doing these things.
Yep.
Like with, just thinking about the motorsports side of things, like why would a team consider you over another candidate if you don't have 2, 3, 4 years of being in a club who does this motorsport at least every month, every day, and you're learning that way.
Yep.
So I think like this school, not only just the curriculum, but just getting involved can bring you that, 2 to 3 years of experience.
help bridge that gap
to boost you out of college. Yeah. And so just about yourself and just about UNOH, before we head to our first break, what should a listener know, like a freshman know coming in? What should they know about UNOH?
What should they know? Well, I would say, okay, in today's environment, in today's world, I don't think where you go to college is necessarily as important, again, it's my opinion. But as technology evolves and access to other resources, is more widespread, I think the fact that being here at UNOH with how, close knit it feels is such a benefit to students because you're never going to feel lost. You're always going to have help or a resource or somewhere to go versus if, you're at like Ohio State University, it's a huge campus, you're just a number, you're just a face in the crowd. So I would tell students coming here that, be excited and optimistic that you're going to have, opportunities to grow yourself, educationally, personally, and develop friendships. And you're going to have people there to help you along the way.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I feel like every college says. Every college says, you're not just a number here. We really care about you.
Right.
But from a student's perspective, I promise you're not just a number here. Yeah. Like I can tell you firsthand that the faculty is literally right next door. Just walk into their office, have a conversation, and they are literally there to help you. Yeah. Just look at this podcast. Like we're able to sit down and just talk with faculty for an hour about topics related to whatever they're good at. So I think that alone is proof that you are just a number here, because I have a lot of friends and family who went to or are currently at big universities, these grand, like uncountable numbers of students, and their professors don't even know their name by the end of the year.
It's a fact, yeah.
So yeah, I definitely could not agree with you more. So you ready for the first break?
Let's go.
What do you know about it so far? Do you know anything about how we do our breaks?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know a lot, but...
Okay, so we have this thing.
This thing.
This is a toolbox, if it isn't noticeable already.
Yep, looks like.
And inside of here, we have little questions.
Okay.
To get your opinion on some funny stuff. So this first one is would you rathers.
Okay.
So I need your opinion. I'll just go to this one here. Hear me out. Would you rather have your alarm in the morning never work or always go off 30 minutes early? And I have my answer.
I would say that I would have it never work because I trained my body to wake up.
Yeah.
So every day that it's not a factor.
Yeah. Well, cause are you where it's a set schedule? Are you going to bed at the same time?
Yes. Yeah. I'm a very structured person where I look at things a particular way. So I've trained myself to, I just wake up on my own. So that
I was definitely that same way for a little while. I promise you, I was asleep at 11, no later. Don't try to call me. And my body would wake me up at 6 or whenever school started. So yeah, that I agree. But for me, as of now, I would do 30 minutes early, 100%, because my sleep schedule is a lot different now.
I was going to say, what's changed?
A lot has changed because there's more on my plate. There's more to do. I have all these assignments and school stuff and the podcast, AMA, a bunch of other stuff. So I would rather go 30 minutes early because I've never had an issue waking up. I'm a morning guy. I have never had an issue waking up. And I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and it was like, why do you wake up so early? Because I wake up like an hour and a half before class. But the reason I do it, hear me out, stop that, hear me out. The reason I do it
is good.
Is because I would rather wake up earlier and get ready very slowly and at my own pace instead of getting an extra 30 minutes, 45 minutes of sleep and have to jump out of bed, get ready as quick as I can and get out the door. That's not how I want to start my day. So that's why because honestly, normally I get my wake up, morning routine done. I can be done up to around 15 minutes. But I go super slow and I'm on my phone half the time, just actually waking up for the next hour and a half. Because if I wake up at 6:30, I'm going to feel the exact same if I wake up at 7:30. I will feel no different.
Yeah. And you could take that principle into like the real world professional experience. And if you don't already know the research on it, but the people that wake up, the early rides, like 5 a.m. and you look at success and how their lives are, it'll benefit you going forward. Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a morning guy. I've never had an issue getting up and out of bed and getting in the shower. So I'm a shower in the morning kind of guy. Are you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I go to the gym every morning, so kind of need to.
Gotcha. For sure. All righty. So we'll do one more.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to pick?
Yeah.
Want to pick it?
I'd love to. Maybe it'll be more challenging for me. I spilled some.
You're good. I'll pick it up.
Lose your keys once a week or your wallet once a week. I will say my wallet because I don't have any cash in it, and I'll just get a new card.
That's funny. Oh wait, can I make keys in my wallet right there? Yes. So on both of my keys and my wallet, air tags.
There you go.
So I'm never losing these things. It's built in to the wallet here, and then it's like a little chip on thing here.
And also to make that question easier, I think my phone is a digital wallet too. So
I
don't even take my wallet with me half the time.
Really? Well, because the only reason I always take my wallet with me is I need my ID on me.
I need
my ID. And that's kind of the only reason why I always have my wallet on me, because I can pay for things with my phone, right? Yeah. And I don't need the business cards on my wallet. So if it wasn't for my ID, I probably wouldn't have it. But what do you think about the phone cases that are wallets though? Have you seen that? Yeah. It was like the back of the phone case is a wallet. What do you think about that? No opinion.
I mean, I think it's all right if, everyone has their phone on them all the time. So, I mean, sure.
So the one thing that I had, because I thought about getting that for a little while, but then my family made a good point and they said that is way too much valuable resource in one area. Because I always lose my phone. Like I will lose it in my bed, in my nightstand, in my car. And so I'm always trying to find my phone pretty much. So the fact that my ID, my credit card, my business cards would all be in that same spot, that's too much value.
So instead of losing, you'd rather just lose one thing at a time versus all of it at the same time.
It just slowly just trickles away. Just a card over there.
I guess you got to know yourself.
I do. Yes. Alrighty. So that was our first break. So we'll have two more coming up a little bit later. But here we have metaphors mentioned in presentations you've given in the past.
Yeah.
So before we get into the specifics of what they all are, what are these presentations you've given them and why have you given them?
So they essentially touch on either things that will help you personally grow and develop or professionally grow and develop.
Okay.
And that can be, whether it's friendships, relationships, all the way up to thinking like, a senior level executive and how you communicate to them. It's pretty much everything in between. And it's incredibly important because, as a 18 to 21, 22-year-old, all this is probably foreign and you don't have experience with it. So I think it's incredibly important to try to be, again, stuff I didn't know anything about that I wish I would have known a sliver about. So
you're hoping that sliver of knowledge you want these students to understand.
If what we're talking about coming up and you don't know about it already, I mean, you don't know who I am. Do I have any credibility? But trust me, what I'm saying is legitimate.
Yeah. That's good. And I mean, I think understanding what we're about to go into can help you build some building blocks to get better and be a better leader. And so understanding how to be a good leader, have the mindset of what you said, like a CEO, and understand that level of thinking.
Yeah, and yourself.
So I will give you the floor. So what is it on our list here?
Yeah, so the first thing that we've got here is called the Johari window. The name comes from the two gentlemen that put it together originally. If you think of a pane of glass, you've got the four quadrants.
Yeah.
You've got what's known to others and what's known to yourself. That might be, I love going to the gym. Everyone knows that about me. I know it about myself. So let's know to yourself and others. Then you've got what is known to myself and no one else. So that could be maybe something that gives me anxiety or something that I know I need to work on, or an insecurity. So you don't know about it. It's something I keep close to my chest.
Okay.
Then you've got the quadrant where it's unknown to yourself and others. So this might be a talent you might potentially have that you're unaware of yet. And, for me, I think that I could say like talking to people, maybe in a public setting or speaking to a larger group, that might be something I didn't know I could do because I was always introverted, stage fright, all that stuff. So I could say maybe that was something that I got from that. So that's what that is. And then you've got your blind spot. So the blind spot is what you or everyone else knows about me, but I might not know. And that's just because in our everyday life, we are in a tunnel. We have blinders on sometimes. We don't even realize some of our blind spots. So the goal is to obviously make the blind spot smaller and then the open area bigger. And in order to reduce the blind spot, you have to seek feedback. And by doing that, I challenge myself in a professional setting. I get feedback from my managers at least once a month. And I seek feedback from everyone that I come in contact with and I work with. And with technology, you can utilize that in different ways. But, I try to get that feedback, good or bad. And when you do get that feedback, you obviously can't take it personally. Any feedback is good feedback. But as you seek feedback and you take that constructively, you can obviously work on your blind spots.
Yeah. And so one thing that I read down is about the blind spots. Mm-hmm. So one thing that you don't know about yourself, but other people can see that. Mm-hmm. So what is something that someone can do to see something like that from the other person's eyes? Yeah.
So I think the important thing is, as the person that's seeking feedback, you have to basically like, hey, I want your feedback here, good or bad. Because when you do that way, they'll give you a candid response and a transparent response versus telling you what you want to hear. Right. So I think the responsibility is on you to frame it that way. And they will give you like, hey, Braden, I think that, sometimes you can be, a little bit overbearing and, you might micromanage here or there. And I don't think you realize, I think your intentions are pure, but, it's just something I've observed.
Okay.
Something like that.
Got it. Yeah. I think you and I were having a conversation before where I feel like the critiques that I've been given on some of my work and some of the stuff that I've done in the past has been so much more beneficial than compliments that I've been given.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody could say, oh, nice job. It looks good. I'm proud of you. Things like that. But then when someone watches something and says, I like the work, but I see something right here. Can you would it be possible to change this? Or here's an idea. What about if we did this better? Then I'm like, that's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. Thank you for that. And then I make the change and now the content is better.
That's where growth happens.
So I have always preferred just give it to me blunt. Tell me what I got to do better, what I got to do differently, and how I go from there.
Problem is, a lot of people at your age don't have that ability to
take it bluntly.
To take it, to take it bluntly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the personal thing. I've always been able to.
Right, and we talked about a little bit about yourself and your upbringing, and why you are the way you are, which is phenomenal. But it's hard for them to take feedback. Yeah, just taking feedback isn't easy.
So, even if it's positive.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. People sometimes get awkward, I don't know what to do.
How do I say thank you?
Exactly.
Without being weird.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what do we have next on the list?
So swallow the frog. This is something that I was very intentional about early on in my career. So basically, you find things that your boss hates to do, and you can apply this in a professional or personal setting or educational setting too. But what your boss hates doing, do it for them, or do something or find something, make it more efficient for them, and make their life easier. Mm-hmm. If you can do that, it creates value for you. You're looked at in a different light. Obviously, that gives you visibility, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It's all positives, all positive return on investment for you and your career. Basically, you're doing things that they don't want to do.
Just to get on their good side, right? Especially,
get on their good side, but show them that, hey, this person's of value. They have maybe they're a high potential person too.
Where did it come from? It's kind of a unique name.
Yeah. So, I have a laundry list of people that I have looked up to for, guidance, that I listen to, read about, and it came from one of those folks, career accelerators, if you will.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I'd be more happy to share details about these folks too.
Sure. And then what do we have next here?
So test drive your career. The easiest way to put this is, you're not going to buy a brand new car without test driving it. So why would you just take a career for what it is and just go with it? Unfortunately, a lot of people do that. But the point here is, you're never too old to reinvent yourself. And I would highly encourage you, again, because of the platform, being a younger person, to test drive a couple of different careers or different fields or employers, whatever it might be. I can say that coming out of UNOH when I got my undergrad degree, I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life, and I'm being 100% authentic there. I just applied for a job, and they got back to me very quick and offered me the job, I think because I could talk to people a little bit and I had a degree. So I kind of stumbled into that. And then from there, the rest is history. But, sometimes you have to test things out until you find your niche. And you're never too old to reinvent yourself. If you've ever listened to motivational people in their 30s or 40s completely reinvent their entire careers. So you're never too old to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and one thing that I definitely experienced last year was people my age turning 18, graduating high school, and still not knowing what exactly they wanted to do with their career. Mm-hmm. But it felt like we were all so forced to, like, you had very few options. You had go to college, go straight into the workforce, or you're a bum.
Yeah.
Those are your three options.
Forced is a good word too.
And that was kind of the three choice that everybody had to choose, but it's okay to not know what you want exactly when you turn 18.
Isn't that such an anxiety?
Yeah, incredibly. I mean, for me personally, I'm very lucky to find something that I love so passionately at such a young age. So fortunately for me, I didn't experience that level of anxiety that I know a lot of my peers did.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people were, it's like I don't want to take a gap year because that sounds bad. But then I also don't want to go hundreds of thousands in debt for something I don't like.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of them just end up going to work and end up figuring out what they want to do later.
Yeah. Or they just stay and they just aren't happy.
Or sometimes they just piggyback off their parents if the parents offer it.
I mean, I wish I was that lucky, but hey.
I wasn't. My family has always been like a very you will be independent.
Yeah.
Do not depend on us. And when you turn 18, it's all you.
Absolutely.
Like it is my job as a parent to raise you to the point where when you turn 18 and you are an adult, you can actually go and be that adult without me holding your hand anymore.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So luckily for me, I didn't have that level of anxiety, but I definitely agree with you where you can change halfway through your life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just thought about this, but Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man.
Yep.
Before he started filming and acting, wasn't he like a junkie?
Yeah.
Arrested all the time.
Something like that. I don't know details, but yes.
It's but then he turned his life around. It's one of the greatest comeback stories.
Yeah.
So I mean, that alone,
there's proof all out there.
It's all out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I like that one a lot though.
Yeah. So then you've got Zone of Genius. So this goes directly with kind of what we were just talking about. So Zone of Genius, you can think of it as a plane of glass too. 4 different parts to it. So the zone of neutrality, you might have high passion, but you're not very competent at it. Then you've got the zone of incompetence where you're not good at it and you don't care about it at all. Mm-hmm. The zone of excellence is usually where most adults end up. It's something that they're competent in highly, but they don't have the passion for it. So, I got into the job. It pays the bills. It's all right. And I stick here for my entire career. That's the zone of excellence. That's unfortunately where most of us end up.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd want to go into your zone of genius. Highly competent, high passion. I would say right now I'm doing that. I love my job. I love my profession. And I love doing this as well. Yeah. I would say I found my zone of genius. It's that mix of interests and passions and competency.
Yeah. I mean, that's great to hear that you did find that point in that thing that you wanted to do.
It took me, I would say the last 5 years was a lot of my own work. So
you have your zone of things that you want, and the word that you used was find what you are capable of, but also find your passion.
Yeah.
Which is coincidentally UNOH's like motto, where it was like the motto is you're here to drive your passion into a career. That's kind of the whole mindset that UNOH is about. And because a lot of people here, especially the tech side, has the love for cars and for racing, for motorsports, things like that. So I think a lot of people at the school specifically have a passion, but finding what you're good at in said passion is where you can find your zone of genius, go there and excel there.
Yeah, and you've got some responsibility yourself to do your own homework to figure out what am I good at? But that also tells you like, hey, you can reinvent yourself whenever you want, man. If you're not happy, you can change. Just you don't have to do what you're doing.
Yeah, right. And I think, and it kind of goes back to the getting involved thing from the beginning of the episode, where it was, you have your passion, this is your umbrella, this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, but just find which raindrop is actually for you and go right at it. So if you are involved, you're surrounded by your passion, get involved and find that niche that you want to stick in.
Isn't it just wild how all this stuff goes hand in hand?
Yes. I think
it sounds so elementary when you talk about it.
Well, it's wild. It does sound elementary because it sounds like when you're in elementary school or in middle school and it's like, find your passion, chase your dreams. It's like, cool, I have to sit here in another school assembly, listen to this. Yeah. But now that we're here, now that we're at the turning point where we can choose what we want to do with our lives, it kind of is a full circle thing where maybe we're talking about something correctly in elementary school. But it's like, and especially at a place like UNOH, as I mentioned, you're surrounded by everything you love, which is motorsports for a lot of students. Mm-hmm. So get involved and find that niche, and there's plenty of careers in that and connections to get you there as well.
Yep. Next thing goes hand in hand with that. So no one cares about you. Mm-hmm. You could think of the example, if you walk into a crowded room, like a restaurant or, I don't know, a classroom, and you're the last one in there, you feel like everyone's staring at you. Everyone's judging you. They're looking at you. What am I wearing? How do I appear? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do.
Truth is, everybody's consumed about what you're thinking about them. They don't care about you. You're just, you exist in the sphere. So
I promise you, they have 1,000 other things in that second they would rather care about than watching what kind of shirt you wear.
Exactly. But that's what we think about, is what people care about, us. But the truth is, nobody cares. They're more worried about themselves, which should be a liberating thing, is that nobody cares about you. Do what you want to do. And I used this example recently, so it's a little bit redundant, but, in 3 generations, no one's going to even know your name.
Mm-hmm.
So, do what you want to do.
Right. And I think, and that kind of reminds me is if someone is going to care and call you out on what shirt you're wearing, call you out for the weird shoes you got on your feet, then they have their own set of problems that isn't worth your time anyway.
It says more about them.
It says a lot more about them. If they're going to take time and stop worrying about their own things and tell you how bad your shirt looks, then that's a much bigger conversation that needs to be had anyway. So you shouldn't let that get to you. And I'm kind of on the same boat, where I remember one day I was dropping my sister off at school, and she was walking in the front door and she tripped. It was like a pebble on rock on the floor, and she tripped. She didn't fall, she kind of stumbled, but then I was talking to her at the end of the school day, and she was like, "That's so embarrassing. Like, oh my God, I really just tripped on that rock in front of all my friends.
Life's over.
I will never recover from this." I'm like, "I promise you're fine." Like, yeah, someone might have looked at you and been like, "Oh, are you okay?" For the next 3 seconds.
Yep.
And I promise you, no one but you has thought about it since.
Yeah. It's easier said than done, though.
For a lot of people, it is easier said than done, because they overthink a lot. They let it get to them.
Yeah.
And they overthink, like, oh yeah, what are they thinking about me?
Yeah.
Where they probably haven't even glanced over.
Absolutely. And I think we touched on this a little bit before we talked, but I think a lot of this stuff is extremely relevant for your generation in particular, because we talked about, how you grew up and what you experienced during the COVID years, the isolation and the social media boom and these unrealistic expectations and anxiety. And it's not, the cards that your generation was dealt wasn't exactly fair, put it lightly.
I mean, that might be true. And I've seen a lot of memes where it was like, during our ages of like 12 to 15, where you do grow a lot of fundamental people skills.
Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
we were all on lockdown behind the screen. And now that we're 18, everything in the world is happening.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's a funny meme to look at.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you definitely do have a point where social media has had its impact and has affected people's thoughts on things for a long time.
Expectations too.
And expectations.
And I barely escaped it. So I'm glad.
And like comparing.
Yeah.
A lot of it is comparing.
Thief of joy. Comparison to the thief of joy.
The thief of joy.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and I think, we also mentioned in that talk where it was that actor from Interstellar. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I don't
ask me, but I know the face.
The guy from Interstellar, he got this big award for acting, and he gave this speech where he said, someone talked to him. They said, "Who is your hero?" And he says, "My hero is me in 10 years. But then that same person went back to him 10 years later and said, "Are you a hero?" And he goes, "Dude, I'm not even close. Like, I am nobody right now. But then my hero is me in 10 years from now." And then the cycle kept repeating. But long story short, it was, my hero is always me, who I want to become and who I'm actually chasing.
And what you said, it literally flows into the next thing perfectly.
What is it?
The infinite game mindset.
The infinite game mindset.
So unfortunately, most people, they think of life as a game where when I get this job or the promotion, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be fulfilled. When I get married, when I have kids, when I buy the house, it's going to check off a box and I'm going to be fine. When in reality, all that leads to is the next thing. You're never happy. You're never satisfied. It's a finite game that you think you're playing, but you're not. And what you just said with that quote from the movie is an infinite mindset where you're always evolving. There's unlimited number of players. There's no finish line. It's, did I get better today? Kind of like that. Yeah. So, I mean, perfectly.
Yeah. Like, what did I do to make a step, like make a baby step towards my hero in 10 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just having that mindset where you're just always evolving.
I think it's a very strong mindset.
Yeah.
And then we have one more on the list. What is this?
Strive to be like a blue zone. So if you don't know what a blue zone is, these are geographic places in the world where people live to be like over 100 years old.
Okay.
So these specific zones, and there's a common themes with why they live this long. The reason why this is relevant is your relationships, your personal relationships, and your involvement and feeling, part of a community dictates how long you live. So people that are isolated and don't have deep connection with, a spouse or a partner or groups or something, they don't live as long. So it's that fulfillment. So you want to develop these relationships. You want to do the things that they do, which, sense of the family is very important. Eating together, doing things together, staying active, walking, exercising, taking care of your body, and being involved with other things like groups. How often do people go out to dinner anymore? How often do they join a club, a social club, or athletic club, whatever it might be, intramurals, all that stuff. So that's kind of the point behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the message that kind of brings. I think it's a good close to the metaphors that we do have for this presentation. So we will do one more break.
Okay.
And then we'll do this break, and then we'll get into our last section, which is relevant themes today for leaders of real world. So the next one we have is hot seat questions.
Sorry.
So it's getting hot and spicy. We need to know your opinions on some interesting topics.
All right, let's do it.
So I'll do the first one, you do the second, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is, what is something you wish you were more consistent at?
Oh, checking in with family.
Checking in with family?
Yeah, I know that's not, it just goes with what we're talking about, but
yeah,
I always think about like how fortunate you are to have certain family in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I wish I was better at.
And
sorry, it's not funny.
No, we're not looking for light. No, we're not looking for that kind of thing, but it's fine. But it's like, because I have a Google Sheet on my computer. It's my little habit tracker. So at the end of the day, I check off the boxes of what productivity stuff that I did that day.
Okay.
Where a box is checked if I completed a project, or I did a video, did I eat good food, because that is on my box to not eat horrible food. So if I ate something good that day, if I woke up at a good time, If I stay on top of my assignments, just a checkbox of 10 things that I want to make sure I hit throughout my day.
I don't think many people your age or students do that.
Just see it. Hold on. It's actually it's kind of interesting, actually.
You are way more organized than I was at 18.
This thing right here. Anyway, while that loads, so that is something that I actually do have on this list, is making sure I reach out to someone that I love.
Okay.
So right here, you can see like there's a little graph on what I'm doing. This is like a graph of like what I rate my day 1 through 10. How motivated was I throughout that day 1 through 10?
And you do this every day?
Before I go to bed, yeah. So it's like
wow.
So that is my day-to-day criteria I try to tick off every day, which I don't every day. I don't hit some boxes some days, but
that's organized.
I try to have that mindset. So something I wish I was more consistent at, you said reaching out to parents, that is something that I do make sure that I do every day. Just hang on the phone call. I know the other day I called my dad because I didn't know what kind of bacon I liked when I was at the store. I was like, do I like this kind of bacon or that kind of bacon? But that took my box off this, and I reached out to someone I loved that day. But yeah, so I agree with that. So you can do the last one here.
All right. What's something you think will never go out of style? You go first.
Something I think will never go out of style. Is it like a clothing thing or just anything?
I guess anything will never go out of style. I could say stuff I think will go out of style.
No, I think honestly, I don't know why, but the first thing that came into my mind was, for whatever reason, the one thing that I keep coming back and then going away and then back and then going away is pop-up headlights on cars. I feel like everyone, like people in the car community, you either love pop-up headlights or you don't like pop-up headlights. But I saw a car recently at, I think it was PRI or SEMA, where it was a modern day car with pop-up headlights, and it looked phenomenal. So I think one thing that will never completely go out of style is pop-up headlights. I think there's always someone out there who will love pop-up headlights, including myself.
I can tell you I've never thought a day about pop-up headlights in my life.
You're not a car guy. I get it. Hey, I love pop-up headlights. If I could have pop-up headlights on my 23 Civic, I would.
I want to break the rules. I want to pick something else for my response.
Okay. There's your options.
What's something that instantly makes you tune out? Oh,
I find.
I mean, again, the first thing that comes to my mind is so relevant to like being a parent and being a professional. Is that complaining?
When people complain.
When people, I guess I should say, when people make excuses.
Yeah.
And I understand completely. Like, people have stuff going on. I've experienced a lot. I've dealt with a lot personally in the last couple of years. So when I start hearing excuses from people, I'm thinking, okay, is it really that bad?
Thanks for the trauma bragging, but
yeah,
appreciate you. But anyway, so I think my answer to that is, one pet peeve that I've always personally had is if I'm trying to have a conversation with someone and they keep their AirPods in. That has always been a big thing for me. Like, can you please show that you actually, what?
Or
why are you laughing behind the camera?
People that talk on their phone with speaker, like in a public place.
Oh my God, on speaker in Walmart? No.
Come on.
Alrighty, but yeah, that's I hate it when someone is trying to talk to me. I don't know, but that's just me. Alrighty, so we're running out of time, so we'll knock out these last couple ones quickly. Right. Relevant themes today for leaders in the real world.
Yeah, so you got to think like a leader. As you get to your career, you'll get experience, you'll develop all this stuff, but a lot of times people are, they're the weeds, the ground level, the daily tasks, the spreadsheets, all of that nonsense, where oftentimes they're working harder than they need to work. So you want to take that to a little bit of a higher altitude, which would be maybe your boss, and then ultimately to the highest bird's eye view, 30,000 feet in the air, where the senior executives live. So great example where you kind of just see firsthand how framing words or framing something changes how it's viewed. So you're the weeds. I developed a dashboard that tracks customer complaints. I think I may have used this example. So that's at the ground level in the weeds. A little higher altitude for your boss. So I created visibility into customer pain points so we can detect them. All right, that's a little more valuable. So if I'm thinking like a CEO, I developed an early warning system that helps protect our brand value and retains our customers for life.
Okay.
Same thing.
Same thing.
I just said it a different way.
Yeah. I mean, but you were thinking like a leader. And it's kind of like, is it, correct me if I'm wrong, is it a scenario where it's like, what would they do? Or like, what would the higher up do in this scenario?
I think, okay, so with a senior executive or CEO, they don't have time to listen to your 10-minute spiel. To be honest with you, they have maybe 30 seconds. That's it, because of how much they have to digest and, aggregate all this information and data and make decisions on the fly. So the point is, you need to give them value immediately. Tell them what they need to hear. I don't need to know the ins and the outs of it. I just need to know the value and why it's important. Mm-hmm. So that's more or less where that comes from.
Yeah. Oh, I think I agree. Like, if you are 30,000 feet CEO,
yeah,
I promise he doesn't have time for your spiel of why you like it, why it is cool. They just want to hear how it's going to make them money or benefit the company, benefit said problem.
Yep.
And that's all they have time for.
Yeah, unfortunately. But that's the world that they operate in. They have so much responsibility.
I mean, that's how businesses go around.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do we have next?
So empathy, recognition, and communication equaling retention. So in today's environment, things are completely different than how they were when, our parents were in the workforce. There is no loyalty from employers. There's a lot of job hopping. People look down on it, but I think it's a lot because people don't understand why people are doing that. A lot of it's because there is no loyalty from employers. People get laid off, companies are downsizing, people aren't being paid or compensated what they should be paid. So one of the things that goes a long way is being empathetic to people. Like, if you're in a position where people report to you, then you have to be empathetic and understand, like, it's tough to be, an adult in the real world right now. Empathy could look like, sick kids at home with one of your employees, understanding like, hey, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to guilt you into missing work because of something going on. That goes a long way. On top of empathy, communication. So communicating transparently, what your expectations are. Here's the vision. I will break down roadblocks, making their life easier. It goes a long way as well. And recognition. So just letting people know that I appreciate what you did, or you did a great job. I saw the effort you put into achieving X, Y, or Z. It's just the little things matter more now than ever because of what the real world is like today versus what it was like when our parents were in the workforce. Because when they were in the workforce, it was, I'm working here until the day I die. And that's just the way it was.
Yeah. So we will skip our last break, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
All right.
Here, we'll do one very quick one.
All right. Okay.
We'll do one very quick one. This is predictions. So in the future, what is something that people will regret spending money on?
Oh, man. Designer clothes?
Designer clothes?
Oh, yeah. I can't even designer clothes. Like, if you go to Amazon, you know how many options there are for clothes that are cheap, that look nice? It's crazy.
Yeah. I think, like, why would you spend $40 on a singular t-shirt or a singular jacket when find something on Amazon, find something cheaper, it's the exact same thing for like $30 less.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Yeah. I think my answer would be probably DoorDash. Honestly, DoorDash, because hear me out.
I'll do this.
Because it costs so much more. I got really bored one day and I did the math. How much gas will it cost me to drive from here and down the road to Taco Bell to pick it up myself and get it and then go back home? So my order is very simple. It's $8 for it's a chicken quesadilla with extra chicken and nacho fries because I have water at home. So it's $8, but it jumps up to $15 to $20 if I have it shipped. No, I promise you the gas that I'm spending to get there and the time that I'm spending is much more of a better option than spending $20 to get it to me.
The logic is all there, but when I was sitting on the couch and it's cold out, no, man, I keep it.
At that point, I just won't buy it. At that point, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I think, again, maybe you're just ahead of your years, maybe.
I do not want to spend money unless it's worth it. And $15 to $20 for an $8 order to sit and wait.
Usually I'm with you. I'm a frugal guy. I'm usually with you there.
Yeah. Yeah. But Alrighty, so we'll make these closing remarks very short. So as we mentioned, the reason for this podcast, for me personally, and the reason why I ask the question I'm about to ask is to have the parents and incoming freshmen have a better idea of what the school is about. But to help a parent and a student coming in answer the question of what is UNOH like and what has your experience been to help you understand everything we talked about today.
So, I mean, UNOH to me, and it sounds like it's been the same for you as well. It's a small school, but it's also like a close knit, like we talked about. The class sizes are small to fine. I mean, it's fine.
That's what I like about them is that they're about high school size.
Yeah, I think like being on your own for a lot of these people on their own for the very first time in their entire life, and a lot of them come from further away. Mm-hmm. I think it's feeling like you're not in some foreign land. I mean, Lima's just like any other city, in Midwest Ohio, but you have all these resources, and I know that now they have like success coaches, mentors, and counselors, and all of this. It's easy. It's easier to adapt to being on your own. I think going someplace like UNOH, where even like the athletics, it's like the basketball gym's right over there, the baseball field's right over there, softball field's right over there, and like you're with these kids. Like in your classes, I don't know. It's just a more sense of belonging.
It's like a family, you know what I mean? Especially if you're on a team.
Yeah, I mean, you identify with these people. You know who everyone is. You know who the teachers are. These teachers go to the events. They're involved too. So it feels warm. I guess it feels warm.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah,
and I think because I am always so busy, I'm always wanting to do something to keep my schedule full. I'm always speaking to new people, which is only building relationships, only getting more involved and networking through that. So I think the school is definitely a warm environment because I'm getting out there and I'm taking advantage of all the opportunities. So, because what you said is it's a lot better than some giant school where you're just a number. But I think at the same time, it also is about your approach, because it doesn't matter if you're in a small school or a big school.
Yeah.
If you're the kind to not do anything, never speak to anybody, just do what you have to do to get by and go back to your dorm, then it doesn't matter where you are, you're not going to get
right, absolutely. And then the one other thing that we'll say is knowing some of the people that are in leadership positions here, and by talking to people on the board and being involved in those discussions, we want the students to promote them. We want to help them find their way or their niche or whatever is important to them, and get that. And if you're local, we want you to stay local. It's very important to the people here that we keep talent around here and we help them evolve and be great people. And I think I maybe small testament to that is that I went here, I stayed local relatively, and I am where I am. So yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I really do appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure.
Is there anything else that you think that would be important to know before we close out the episode?
No, I'd just say if you're still listening, don't ever stop developing yourself and growing yourself. Don't ever stop. Always evolve.
There's always room to grow. And as we mentioned earlier, you can always reinvent yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Alrighty. Thank you guys. Bye.